Welcome to the Desperate Reich. It looks as though on the Eastern Front we are unable to continue to push deeper into the Soviet Union. Maybe we might be able to down here, but it looks very desperate. We've been, and you'll notice that this is a change from the end of the last episode, and we'll get to that in a moment. But we have a Dieppe style, obviously it's not in Dieppe, but a Dieppe style landing up in the Netherlands. We have the Americans pushing in the west of Libya. We have overextended ourselves in Iraq, and we are pushing down into Africa fairly well, actually. That's one area that we're pushing fairly well. The war in China is actually going fairly well. We've taken Chongqing some time ago now, and we're pushing more. The British, somewhat foolishly, I think, has pushed into China. And so we have that. And as I was saying a moment ago, a bit of some of my inexperience with the Pacific campaign have led to things not going so great. We're something of a stalemate there, though we are occupying part of Hawaii. Hello, Lanzer. Hello, Grey Knight. Hello, Arno. And IKB is here, too. Very good. Diplomacy. Well, we can take a quick look at that. Come up to here. You have your nations. You can try to improve relations with these nations. Let's go to a neutral. You can try to improve it or declare war. Fairly simple diplomacy. Hello, Jaculius. And Unknown is here. Hello. And Paul Winter. Very good. Save game. I've played it up from the beginning. Question, played the one where only Europe is mapped. So what I disliked was that I always had to play the allies of the Axis. So it is now possible to play. No, you're either. Hello, JP again. You're either playing the Axis or the allies. You can't just play a single nation. Hey, Pitfiend, and this is one thing. We're playing the Strategic Command World War II, the World at War version. Obviously, you can see down in the bottom screen. It is inclusive of basically of the whole map, sort of, kind of the U.S. here. As you can jump over here, you have a way to get across there. If you don't want to play Japan, you don't want to play the Pacific War. Or you just really want to I like the map for Europe better in the World at War version. So if you're just focusing on Europe, or you just don't want to play Japan, get the War in Europe version. It is a very good version. I don't know of any game elements that are different between them. How any of the mechanics work is, I think, the same and both updated. So, but can you let the AI no, you play the full faction. Unfortunately, I guess. I don't mind. I actually like playing the full faction. That is a good thing for me. But if you don't want to, unfortunately, that is. Suggest swaying Turkey. Well, we've already sort of tried that. Some. I don't know that we have it at a 53%. and it costs a lot of our MPP to do that. I don't know what it specifically takes, because doing that would be 50 MPP, and I don't know if we should do that. Okay, very good. I didn't know you could configure it beforehand. I have it configured to play the whole thing. Okay, so we have some rainy, bad weather. Oh, last time when we left this, it was slightly into the future, and I had made a very bad mistake of not reinforcing one of my air units down here, so my air got clobbered and we got invaded, and I decided to go back, replay part of it again to here, because I didn't want that. 43 AD day was just a little too early, didn't want that. And I've gone into, as you can see here, most of these garrisons, not all of them yet, have been upgraded with infantry weapons and anti-aircraft weapons, because we've been pounded by yeah, well, no, we are, I think we maxed out the armored trains, IKB. I would like more, though. If I knew I could get Turkey in, I would do so, but I don't know that I can. I've tried to get Finland in. That's been another major problem for us, is not having Finland in the Axis. It's neutral, slightly pro-Axis right now. Okay, so they pushed into here, which is not good. They've almost taken out this corps. They took out the Italians that you may have remembered that had been holding on for a long time. We're going to do... So yeah, if I move these guys back one, I don't think they'll survive the attack, though I don't know that they're going to survive anyway. So we're going to move these guys to here. We're going to reinforce them to their max, just a 6, unfortunately. We're going to come, though not attack, we're going to hold there. Well, it's armies and corps. The white X with the 4 small X's on top is an army, and the sort of darker gray for Germans, russet for the Soviets, X infantry unit with 3 X's on top are a corps. So it's not a divisional base game. Okay, we have up here... Oh, good. That's a good result. And shattered. Good. Fully taking out a army or a corps is very good for us. Yeah, they've got a lot of units. Now, I'm looking for places that we can somewhat even. Ooh, would be a good attack. So would probably be a better one. That could be a decent follow-on. Well, that's actually almost too good. They retreated back out. Okay. This will give us a chance to upgrade the infantry weapons. been going for the upgrades when I can. Yeah, we'll upgrade that instead of reinforce it. Now, okay, well, we have clear weather down here. So we can use our air power. Yeah, JP. The Soviets are not easy in this game. 1, 1, 2. Do have railway artillery. Pummel with this effectively, or down here. Ooh, down here, that would maybe good. Okay. Hey, thanks for following the channel. We do appreciate it. Plot attack stored up. Oh, great. Oh, good. Oh, good. This goes from being, well, oh, and shattered. Great. Okay, that was really good move. 2, 4, okay. Now, again, thanks for following. Yeah, I expected that, actually. Good, the Romanian escorts. Not as big a hit as I was hoping, but still. Okay, we're gonna risk this, I think. No. But we'll then reinforce max. Okay. Now, no encirclements. Don't have the supply range to do that. Encirclements with this map, with this stuff, encirclements basically aren't working unless you can actively fully control the rail lines. And so there's just no good way to do that here. Well, that could work. No, I don't trust the... I want to get all 3 of these units. Okay, good. Good hit. Now we're going to swap those 2 out. Hit. Ooh. And shattered them. Okay. Now we have that. Core there. Well. Good job, Romanians. And Soviet heavy armor corps, goodbye. And they retreated. Pursue. Yeah, we need to. Gotta kill it. No, I learned my lesson early on about encirclements. Other games, and I'm talking other games going way back to tabletop, Third Reich, if you know it, Rise and Fall of Third Reich, Advanced Third Reich was sort of the final version. I'm talking, pre-computer. Although technically there was a computer version of the game out, I did buy it. It sucked, but that was 20 plus years ago. So I don't even know if you could find it. That had armor specifically, and mechanized armor and mechanized forces would specifically have enough supply abilities to go and for a few turns hold out for encirclements and get around. In this game, supply just is not a thing. So theoretically, if you could push along one of these rails and push along another one of these rail groups and get an encirclement and maintain the supply, yes, that would work. But if you don't hold the rail path, meaning if you were to say, come here and circle around to Morozovolsk kind of thing here, and you were to come south here but not across the rail line and get an encirclement, you would be the one running out of supplies faster than they would be the one running out of supplies. So yeah, it's a real, in my opinion, problem. Though I do appreciate the very big importance. Hey, for arrow and shield, thank you. How critical they make the rails were, and that is a really, really critical to the war on the Eastern Front. On the Western Front, there's a lot of rails going everywhere. Most of these hex would have rail connections, quite honestly, even more so, I think, than what we see here. But out here, it becomes really critical, and you can see how critical Moscow and some of these places are. So, hello, Suter. Good to have you here. Oh, and Pixel, hello. I hadn't said hi yet. Oh, yes, my armored trains are wonderful. Okay, so we've taken out 3 core there, which is very nice. Now, here, let's take a look at supply. And you hit S. That's current supply. Obviously, we have 0 supply in enemy territory. Hit S again, and it shows you what it would be next turn if we occupied the path into there. But they can come in and move. So I have learned my lesson. Things aren't going terribly well. We are the desperate Reich. Now, I want to take out that unit. I also want to take out a few more. Now, well, nope, they don't have the range. We've used the air power down south. That was a very good hit, actually. Okay, retreat back. We're going to move in the armored trains. Strike. Ooh, no, nice hit. Retreat them back. I think that's the best place. Okay, didn't quite take that, but they'll hit there now. Those are not good options. Really don't like him exposed out on his zone. Move the rocket artillery, that'll help break up any infantry attacks. So not as much penetration as deep as I want, but we got that. Okay, now in the rain. Okay. Hit. Move the armor up and then I think it'd be best down here. Okay, good. Another core gone. That is good. We can do a 3-hit here. Those aren't very good odds. That's terrible, of course. Hoping for. Well, and the Italians can afford it. We'll max that out. We're gonna move the. Okay, well, now up here, we've already done some good here, and unfortunately, the rain is very heavy. Okay, get them max. Pay the big price. Going to Moscow. Boy, I wish I could. Sardukar. We are beset by bad weather. Bad weather. And too many Soviets. Well, we've done some good. Unfortunately, I'm not liking what I'm seeing here, but okay, so a little bit of progress is made. We'll move these guys up. These guys we will max out. Get our armor core ready for next turn. Very good. Well, I hope the war in Europe too is doing well. I really am. Yes, I've been stuck outside of Moscow for a long time. Yes, very good to hear. Okay. My biggest complaint is lack of stacking, particularly lack of the ability to stack air units on top of ground units. And so you get this weird sort of mess here. Now, here we want to okay, we'll do that. Get these guys better ready for the attack. Okay, that was actually fairly cost effective. Okay, they're all the way down to 4. Now I sort of wish I didn't upgrade them, but I am glad I upgraded them. Okay. Airstrike on the submarines. Submarines dive from attack. Okay. Oh, but got one. Okay. Now let's see if we can spot them again. There they are. Submarines dive from attack again. Okay, you come back to port. Don't think the... Oh, there is a CV there. Oh, lovely. Okay, that you're probably dead anyways. See, like I say, my mistakes. Now we have interceptors. Yep, they intercepted us. He's dead. Oh, you know what? Maybe. We can come back into Hamburg, maybe. No, not quite. Probably gonna take a pounding, but... Might as well use my German Navy while I have it here. Okay, well, that was interesting. Yeah, and I'm for a stacking limits. I just think one per. You know, I could definitely see, from my perspective, an army. Okay, nothing should stack on it. A corps, what I would be able to stack on it would be a support unit, like possibly an artillery, though that you don't necessarily want on the front lines, but like a engineering unit or anti-aircraft unit or one of those sort of support type units. Because of situations, I would say be able to also stack 2 armored or mechanized units, because I figured they're smaller. So some of the stuff should stack, not endlessly, just like 2, you know, not huge stacks, but a little bit of a stack. Oh, well, yeah, now penalties for being overstacked I also agree with too. Part of what the reason I have this problem is like, oh, I've got to retreat one of these units way back to here instead of just 1 or 2 rows back, stack it, you know, send in reinforcements to then send it to the front. And so, like, if you wish to implement a significant penalty for frontline stacking, there I could see that a lot more. Heavy tank, well, these don't have a size unit on them. The mechanized don't have a size. I figure they're larger than a division, but sort of smaller than a corps, you know, like a 2-divisional corps or something, is how I sort of interpret some of those. Yeah, I have been unable to get into Rostov, and I don't really want to pound my head right now. Taking out those 3 corps there, and that corps there, so we took down 4 corps. Just right there is pretty good for what's been going on. So yeah, some stacking I am very much in favor of. Okay, now let's look at supply. Yes. I want to cut off supply to this unit down here. Push them back to there. Okay. Now I want to cut off supply coming up through here. So unless they get supply across the water, which they might, but I don't know. We're cutting off the supply to the HQ. It's not so much manpower, Ari. It's when you purchase units, can't show you the Soviets, but say like Bulgaria, it has, I can't do any more corps. I could do one more army currently. I could do one more garrison currently. So each nation have a number of maximum units here and of particular types. So all the red ones I've maxed out, either totally or just currently available. So it's not a manpower based game. It's a unit size or number based game. Okay, we're going to push down here, try to get Mombasa. Now we might as well attack there and get hurt a little bit, but you're not really going to be able to attack me. Okay, now up here, I really think I've overextended myself. Okay, they can come to there, they can come down to there. So you go up to there, you come down to there. So I'm withdrawing back, but they don't have enough supply. Now here, you down to here, you guys come ashore there. The submarine out there, move up the air. Air power, fighters. Oh, the old, yeah. The Operational Art of War. That I played that back in the 90s or whatever. Love that game. Djibouti is sort of a French thing. I just don't have the units to go in there right now. So we're going to try to hold with our mechanized forces, and no, we're not going to attack. That's too much of a loss, but we have artillery right behind them. Hopefully that'll be enough to break up the attack. Yeah, clicked on Djibouti. You click on some of the cities and that's that. If you click on a, what is it? Oil drilling or something, or not quite sure what that's supposed to be. Okay, now we can come into here and get you guys. Not sure that was the best option, but we'll take it. Ouch. Trying to soften them up a little bit. Bombing, but not looking like it's helping much. No. Consolidate our forces a bit. Okay, we have some subs out here, so we're going to mess with their communications there. Yeah, we're having lots of monsoons. Prumasil. That's another thing, if you want to convey back. The idea that you can't fly in the rain is another one of my big problems with the game. The only reason I've been, in my opinion, been unable to take Cyprus, because it's rained so much in Cyprus, and I was unable to strike it. So I've abandoned my airborne unit there because I can't do anything with it. That I would have the air power be half as effective in rain or snow. Still have it effective, still be able to fly, but just run it on like half of whatever the effectiveness would normally be. Yes. Oh boy. Yeah, it should disrupt my operations, not prevent them. Because, like Hawaii, we can look out here. It rains, my understanding. We see all the sea out here is all rain. Let's retreat you back a little bit. Rains like every day in Hawaii, 2 or 3 times a day. But it's also sunny most days for parts of the day. So the rain is just, it's there and then gone. And so I would say that is the case with a lot of the situation. Now, monsoons and stuff, yeah, I can see that could quite be a bit, see if we're getting anything out here, a bit much in some of the rains. Paper planes, yeah. So, yeah. Trying to see if I can get you down here to help out with the bombing. Okay, let's take a look at Asia here. Okay, we should probably see about moving them maybe further forward. We want to try going after their air power. Yep, there'll be interceptors. We've got escorts. Oh, just if you don't know, this stream is scheduled to be 3 hours and not the usual 2. Well, that looked like it hit pretty hard. Thanks, Pixel. I'm glad, well, that you put up with them at least. Okay, we're going to operate here. Ooh, shattered. There goes an army. See, the British moved too much in here and overextended themselves. That's before I do that too much. Let's check supply. Okay, 4. Okay, they can come up to here. Very good. Supply. So if we go to there, that would be 2. Oh, they can't. Damn, they can't get there. Okay, well, let's move up at least. So next time maybe they can push a little bit further. Now, I'm going to prepare these guys to do an airborne drop, but probably it's going to be raining, so probably can't. They can't move into there, but swap them out to look for a better unit. Hey Ambroso, good to have you here. This is Beijing duck. Yeah, they've got air units all over Airy. I don't quite know. Okay, Sadukar. Hopefully you do make it. Like I say, this is scheduled to be a total of 3 hours. I don't know about shore bombardment, considering it against that core. I don't know that we'll be able to attack across there, but we'll move up just in case. Well, I don't like the North Africa situation here, and yeah. Otherwise, I'm not doing badly. Quite honestly, this is literally the first time I've played the Pacific Theater that you're seeing here, so. I've learned a lot in doing so. I would do better now. I'm sort of waiting for the... Well, let's move up a little more. Waiting to see if we can get out of the rain here. Well, I guess we could there. But I really don't. Don't know. So, again... well, great feet, Panzer. Oh, that's cool. Thanks, Pixel. Yeah, I might be doing better. Obviously, we've taken Egypt and pushed into here, but I've run out of sort of ability to reinforce or reinforce the units, so I'm falling back a bit. And hopefully, my hope is that they follow me and then I kill them. Come back here where I can reinforce, get this core and kill it. So that's my hope. Not saying that it's going to happen, but oh, I want to move up other units here. Okay. Put them up to there. They can move to there. Here. Oh, let me try. I should have checked supply first. Okay, bad now. Better in a little bit. So kill that, and getting Chengdu will probably change the supply situation. Well, up incrementally. Now I've got more garrison units because we can again hit partisans, P for partisans, and C. Those would immediately spring up. These other ones, I'm just sort of paranoid with the X over that they might be starting to show up. Obviously those two would show up if we didn't have them covered. I'm again sort of paranoid over Hong Kong. Okay, well, let's swap these out. It'll allow me to, well, no, but I can't. I don't have enough supply. Oh well. Okay, these guys have not operated, so we'll reinforce. They have yeah, a big grind, more than I thought would be after taking Chungking. I thought I would have seen more of a collapse of China. Because here, just yeah, mobility is nice, but mobility isn't the main issue, I don't think, for me. So we want to see about pushing up into here, maybe cut them off because there's the new capital, but Lanchow. So yeah, I don't know if we'll be able, how much the supplies will cut off here, but be able to do that. Okay, let's come out here, look in the, okay, well, see if we bump into anybody. Nope. And come, oh. Ah, okay. Ouch. Okay, run away out into the... Try not to go back to the same place every time. Let's put you up here. They've moved, that's good, they've moved. Yes, Thailand's in our faction currently. Okay, so that's doing well. Or well enough. Still have these special forces to deal with. They're going to clobber my navy. All of these guys here. Ooh, I haven't shot at these yet. Okay. Canadian something or others. First Canada, I'm guessing infantry corps. This game does, as you can see here, access war elephants. That'd be cool. It does have coastal artillery, unlike other games, which is quite true, because they did Battery Tote and others did at some point shell Britain across the channel. Well, the Axis did sort of have war elephants. They had the Oliphant. Okay, we need to upgrade this. And these are the Pals of Adolf. The ROA. We'll give them, since they're on the western front, I'm putting anti-air defense for units on the western front now. And we're, in case there is an invasion, they'll be able to hold much better. And yes, thanks for following. Do appreciate that. Yeah, we'll just reinforce these guys. We can, yeah, afford that. Just in case the Allies take it into their thought. I pulled the core out of there, and I'm hoping we don't spawn partisans before. I think I have some in production. Yeah, no, I don't have any garrison troops, so we should build some garrison troops. Okay, for Germany, should build some garrison troops. One garrison troop right now. We're sort of low on stuff, so we'll get that. Plan is there. Okay, you move up here just in case you'll be useful. Don't know if you will or not, but let's look over here, make sure I'm not badly missing a partisan. Okay, they're covering all of those three. That's covered by them. Covered. He's covering there, they're covering here. Well, I'm going to move you down here. Oh yeah, no, it was Ferdinand Porsche, the guy, was an engineer out of control. If I remember correctly, didn't the Oliphant, and somebody can look this up, wasn't it a hybrid that had a I forget the engine type in it that then generated electricity, and the electric motors ran the tracks? That's what he was working on. I know the Mouse, you know, you're all familiar with the Mouse. You know, the big sort of super tank that they built, like 2 of them, and there were a couple other sort of prototypes. Stupidest ideas ever. But in case you didn't know, it's a super heavy tank, and most bridges in Germany couldn't take the tank. And if you happen to notice a map, and the Germans didn't either know a map or sometimes looked out the window and saw a river, so they knew there were rivers, and so they knew that the bridges couldn't cross it, and it could ford up to, I don't know, 3 feet or something. So it was a small river. You'd actually have to get troops out to make the banks, you know, either side of the river, so that you can go down and come up the other side, you know, guys with shovels or whatever, presumably. But if the river was deeper and bigger than that, they had a special way to get it, get the Mouse across the river, and it took 2 mice to get them across the river. And I don't know that they ever did this. I don't think they ever did this, and I don't know that it would have worked. But the plan was, this is my understanding, what I read the plan was, is you have 2 Mouse. They are like, and I've read up, they had several different engines tested in them, but they're definitely a hybrid. So they have a diesel or a petrol engine, I forget which, that runs a generator, and then the generator powers the tracks. Ferdinand Porsche was way out of... Yeah, but it was the Porsche. Jump back to the Tiger 1. There was the Henschel Tiger 1, and there was the Porsche Tiger 1. Ferdinand Porsche, without approval, went ahead and built a bunch of holes. They built one prototype that you can see like in War Thunder and whatnot, that has the sort of standard Tiger turret on it, that did eventually get used in some battle. They were desperate. But all the rest just were the lower holes. And once the German army goes, nope, we're not using that. No way, we're not using that. And that's when they put on the box, the armored box on top, and put the big the more higher velocity 88 millimeter gun in the Oliphant. Ferdinand, that started out, and then when they later rebuilt them and put a little light machine gun on the front and called it the Oliphant. That's sort of the story with that. So, back to the Mouse. So you need 2 mice to get across the river. And so they're electric drive. There's an electrical engine that runs the tracks. So what they would do is they would seal up the tank, have a snorkel, but trying to have the snorkel take in and exhaust out and seal up all of the engine compartment so that it could properly run was more difficult. So they were planning on having a set of cables that you'd have one mouse on the bank of the river running cables to the other mouse, and it would then drive under the water. I think it was like 8 meters or something. They could sort of run a snorkel thing down and just have that and just have the driver in it. He would be powered by the tank that's on the bank, get across to the river, get to the other side of the river, and they would switch the hookups, and so that the one that was on the far side now would power the other one getting across the river to the other side. So it would take at least 2 mice to get a mouse across the river, but that's how they would have to advance. I don't know that it would have worked, you know, with their technology and running power cables underwater, hooking them up or whatever. I don't even know that they ever even tried this, but that was the theory on how to get a mouse across a river in a place that didn't have a large, heavy support bridge. So, yeah. So that's sort of the story of the mouse and how it moved. Okay, I think we have the partisans reasonably well taken care of. Frog-style tank crossing road, never. Frogger style, right. So yeah, so that's how the mouse was intended to operate across roads. Well, if they get ashore, we'll need... Well, no, let's look. Okay, we only have 100... Okay, Japan and Italy actually have MPP. So let's see, for Italy. We go with heavy tanks. Hard, soft, hard, 5-4, 5-4... 4-3. Yeah, this is the only way to get a reasonably decent vehicle for Italy. We're going to purchase that. It's going to take a while to show up. And for Japan, what do we do for Japan? Do we do anything? You know, spend... Or do we want to use the money to bring put some of our forces on ships and advance them more? Because I just, to a point, I don't know if to go get Guadalcanal and Bougainville. How's that going to benefit me? Yeah, we'll get a little MPP or something. But I just don't know that it's going to benefit me. Now, going after Australia, you know, if we can take Port Moresby and then land down here or something, if we can get ashore or land out here in Darwin, those might benefit us. Definitely trying to get some more of these resources, MPP, that are rich areas here. That is most assuredly. I don't know really how the island hopping campaign is going to help us out. Oh, the Tassar tank, yes. Yeah, no shortcomings. Guadalcanal, okay. The seabirds like it, right? I got that. So, you know, we got the carrier force out here, got this naval force here. I don't know. I'm thinking more land campaign. trying to move up through Burma is where we want to go. So, to that end, well, tanks don't have advanced tanks. But do we just put... Well, let's rebuild some of these instead. Okay, yeah, let's rebuild the bombers. It's going to be expensive to max that out. Yeah, 99. Yeah, I think this is where we should... You need to come up here to better intercept. Yeah, just mobility. Yes, absolutely, War Wizard. How do I put this? It's expensive to put these guys on assault transports, and it's more expensive to put them on long-range assault transports. And the longer they're at sea, the weaker they become. So if you really want to move them a long distance, you need to put them on long-range assault transports, and that's going to cost the most. And I'm worried about supply issues even here, going after this core. So I'm worried about coming ashore and getting stuck because of my experiences here in Cyprus. And so I'm gun shy on this. I'll be quite straight up honest with you. I'm gun shy about just coming in and taking islands for taking islands' sake. I do have... they just haven't... It's hard to move them around. They don't have very good even... Like, I can't get them out to truck. You know, these air units here. Nothing's coming within range of them now. I mean, if they do, we're going to use them, you know, the naval air. So... See this? I guess we could... Part of it, quite honestly, is indecision. Okay, we'll come to here. So, use the naval air down here maybe a bit more. So that's sort of the kind of thing I'm facing here a little bit. So yeah, okay, back. Purchasing, yeah, we've got an army, 2 corps, a parachute unit, which I don't know if we can jump because of the rain. Garrison unit. Corps here supplying that, so we'll move these guys down and maybe put them on ships at Haiphong and see about moving them somewhere. We'll see about putting that on ships. Let's look partisans in the Philippines. We just have the one potential up there, so we'll move these guys. Come down here with them. Yeah, IKB, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, I'm worried about the US steamrolling me. I do think to some degree holding Hawaii somewhat is helping out. But oh, and just if you don't know, I totally expect to lose this at some point. So this isn't gamers' glorious victory over the world playing as Germany, that's for sure. This is me trying to hold on and fight a desperate fight. Okay, let's... Oh, we have these guys here. I almost forgot about them. Let's put them on here. See if they cut some supplies as they're moving down. They're there. They've run away and hid there. They're that. They moved here. They've attacked, but minor damage. I don't know if we're going to get enough supply coming in this way. Hopefully cutting that supply. I'm just making sure. And you know, because of things, I'm going to save now before the end of the turn. Because of what happened before. Just in case something stupid I've done or haven't done. We can come back to it. Yeah. Oh, the glorious. Oh, the Bob Simple, yes. Very. Oh, Arno, you should have heard of the Bob Simple. It's basically a tractor with some sort of sheet metal-like armor. It's actually somewhat armored. It's more than super thin sheet metal, but it just has some Bren guns on it. Yeah. Actually, from my understanding, Ari, that corrugated tin armor it was actually bulletproof. Some sort of bulletproof armor, not tank gun proof, but you know, if you're just shooting Japanese machine guns or rifles at it, it was armored to that level.